But you have to remember, Ron was a disciple of Paul Ryan, who is a rhino loser who currently is destroying Fox and would constantly vote against entitlements. He would just vote against, remember that, the wheelchair over the cliffs. The Democrats used it. The wheelchair over the cliff commercial, very effective. That was about him. And to be honest with you, Ron reminds me a lot of Mitt Romney. So I don't think you're going to be doing so well here.
That was Donald Trump during his recent rally in Davenport, Iowa. And he, of course, attacked Ron DeSantis, but he did so by going back to his favorite hits, the economic populist messaging that helped Trump win in 2016. What am I referring to? Well, he went into Ron DeSantis's congressional record when he was a member of the House of Representatives, and he noticed Ron DeSantis had some pretty extreme positions in regard to wildly popular social spending programs. Let's watch.
He also fought against Social Security. He wanted to decimate it and voted against it 3 times. Voted against Social Security, that's a bad one. A lot of people don't know that, but I think they've been finding out over the last 4 weeks. One of the reasons that we're zooming in the polls, perhaps, maybe that's one, maybe it's other things too. It's really based on what we've done, I think. And on Social Security, well, we're at it. He wanted the minimum retirement age to be lifted to people that are 70 years old, a substantial increase over what it is right now. That's a big increase. And he also voted to severely cut Medicare. I will not be cutting Medicare, and I will not be cutting Social Security. We're leaving the age rating.
So everything that Trump said there, I can't believe I'm saying this, it was correct. So I went into Ron DeSantis's record to see if he really wanted to raise the retirement age to 70, and it was true. Just a few graphics. As a congressional candidate, DeSantis repeatedly expressed support for Representative Paul Ryan, he's a rhino loser, proposed overhaul to entitlement programs by privatizing aspects of Medicare and Social Security. DeSantis supported the even more drastic Republican Study Committee's budget proposal that aimed to balance the federal budget in 4 years instead of Ryan's decade. To achieve such cuts, as the Committee for the Responsible Budget detailed back then, required changing Medicare to a partially private system by 2019 and raising the retirement age to 70. It would have also increased the full retirement age for Social Security to 70 as well.
Okay, so let me give Trump 3 different pieces of credit there, okay? So fairest show in America, can't stand Donald Trump, but he's right about a number of things here. Number one, did DeSantis actually offer to cut Social Security and Medicare in the way that he's describing? Yes, absolutely, no question about it. Let me pause here to say, where the hell are the Democrats? They're getting their ass handed to them by Ron DeSantis. Why don't they just say the things that Trump just said? What's wrong with you? Why do you need Donald Trump to make the most obvious case in the world against Ron DeSantis? Florida is filled with retirees. They have an enormous percentage of their citizens are senior citizens. And cutting Social Security and Medicare poll at about 3%. But the Democrats lost to Ron DeSantis by 20 points. And never once brought this up. The biggest losers in the world. So Trump, I call him an idiot all the time, but he does have some good political instincts, okay? So it's the instinct to get marketing and constantly talk, and the instinct on these populist things, whether he means it or not. So absolutely right on Social Security and Medicare. Number 2, he brought up later that DeSantis wants to cut Medicaid too. And so Medicaid is much more popular to cut among Republicans, right? And Trump's like, nope, not cutting it.
It is.
You know why? Because real people use Medicaid.
Exactly. No, it is fascinating to see Donald Trump. I mean, of course, you saw this in 2016 as well, but it's becoming clearer and clearer to me that the arbitrary rules based on which party you're in are just BS. Because people are people, and people want their government to work for them. And so yeah, some people will find themselves in a tough spot and they might need to lean on certain social spending programs, including Medicaid, which by the way, I should also note that Florida happens to be one of the, 12 states? Yes, Florida is just one of 12 states that has refused to expand Medicaid through federal money that was offered through the Affordable Care Act. Remember, that was one of the provisions in the Affordable Care Act, to provide federal funds to states to expand Medicaid in order to ensure that more people are covered with state insurance.
And Trump said in the speech, why doesn't DeSantis extend it to Florida? Why is he turning down the federal money?
Dude.
He's so much, Democrats are the worst. These are the simplest attacks in the world. They're like, what? Oh, our proposals are popular, what? Because they're paid to lose. All right, now, the other thing that Trump does right. Guys, he talks like a regular human being, and Democrats hate that. You idiots, that's how humans talk. You've got a bunch of robots like Adam Schiff, right? Trump comes out and goes, Paul Ryan, rhino loser, who's destroying Fox. And people go, oh yeah, oh, is Paul Ryan's a loser? He's a loser. People like that.
Yep.
No, but I don't know the Democrats in Washington have ever met a human being, right? Do you guys have any idea how real people talk? Jesus Christ. And that ad that he's referring to was there's only like 2 political ads in my lifetime that the Democrats ran that I liked. And that was one of them, where they had a little old lady being pushed off in her wheelchair, being pushed off a cliff by someone, basically that was Paul Ryan in the ad because of these proposals. And as soon as I saw that, I covered it here on TYT. I was like, that's an ad, finally. You know why? Because Obama wanted to win. When Obama wants to win, he's a killer. The minute he wins, all of a sudden Change and Hope, man, it's misplaced in my closet, I couldn't find it.
I don't want to be naive, and I'm not naive, but I do want to raise a question. So as we had covered, I think last month at this point, the billionaire donors who had previously supported and funded Donald Trump's campaign have pulled out. They want to support Ron DeSantis instead. With that money now flowing to Ron DeSantis, and with Trump now being abandoned by that billionaire, donor base, is it possible that he'll be further untethered to some of the demands of the richest people in the country?
No, and so don't get lulled into Trump. So
to be fair to him though, he didn't touch Medicare or Social Security during his 4 years. I mean, he did all sorts of favors for corporations. He gutted the government through his $2 trillion tax cuts for the rich. So I'm not trying to whitewash how awful he was. But we do know that money talks, and that legalized bribery is the #1 priority for politicians.
So I'll tell you why you should never trust Trump. There's 2 main reasons. First of all, does he get bribed too? Of course he does. So I have that in the book as well, tyt.com/justice. You can get Justice is Coming. We'll put the link down below in the description box. But the point is, Sheldon Adelson twice in both elections gave Donald Trump over $100 million through different PACs, okay? And Trump gave him everything he wanted, everything. I mean, when you read the details, it is shocking how corrupt, maybe it's not shocking how corrupt Donald Trump is, but how corrupt the system is, right? So, Anna, if he starts winning, every Republican donor will come right back into the fold. And when Donald Trump gets money from someone, he does exactly what they want, right away, right away. Basically, Trump goes, what am I, dummy? No, you give me money, I give you what you want.
Yep.
And then you give me more money, right? And so they're gonna come right back into the fold, and he's gonna do exactly what they want, and he's gonna put personal corruption layered on top of it. So this is not about, oh wow, Donald Trump is good. No, I can't stand the guy. But DeSantis on those economic issues is definitely worse, and the Democrats couldn't fight back if their life depended on it because they don't want to fight back.
Let me give you another example of what DeSantis supported. He supported a nationwide sales tax system known as the fair tax, one of the most regressive proposals imaginable. Less than a month after joining Congress, he co-sponsored a bill that would have abolished the IRS and empowered states to collect what would start out as a 23% national sales tax. Different calculations, by the way, could mean that the tax would have been as much as 30%.
Yeah, so guys, what that does is for the poor and especially the middle class, you're gonna pay a giant amount of taxes. But for the rich, the bubble gum they buy and the crudité that they get at their local grocery store is a tiny, tiny fraction of their income. So as a flat sales tax is murder for the middle class and the greatest gift that rich could possibly get. DeSantis only serves the rich, 100%. Why don't Democrats fight back in the most obvious ways? Because they also serve the rich. Last thing, to buttress what Anna was saying earlier, this is also injustice is coming. In 2016, we found out that the party positions are totally made up by corporate media. For my entire life, ABC News, CBS, CNN, all told you, Republican voters are for free trade, okay? And they want good free trade deals that corporations win on. Nonsense, it turns out they hate free trade. The minute Trump started talking against free trade, they were like, we hate free trade, right? The media has made up all of these pro-corporate positions and said Republican voters believe this, Democratic voters believe this. The polling shows that's not remotely true. All of it is a lie. The voters do not believe any of that stuff. But you're never gonna see it in mainstream media. They have all these fantasies about what the Republican principles are and their philosophy. It's horse crap. You wanna know what's popular with Republicans? Listen to Donald Trump, he'll tell you. That's why they love him. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.